Greg, I know you can't hear me, mate. It's just because it says starting soon here. And I'd assume that people just wait till the actual live stream goes on. But I've heard so many messages already about, oh, your cam is not on and nobody can hear you and blah blah blah. I usually put a little of music on the background, but I'm having I say this every week. I use an audio interface, and that audio interface sometimes puts too much data through my laptop, which makes my headset drop out. So I'd have to plug it in and plug it out. But for me, trying to avoid that from happening is by not putting any music on the background, because from my experience, Spotify makes it even worse than it already is. So I put Spotify. I don't put Spotify on anymore, and I'm just running nothing basically. But that means you won't be able to hear anything either. So sorry, mate. Ah, thanks, Mondi. Appreciate it. Is it Monster? I think it is, isn't it? Monster, Mondi. I just saw you moving your mat. That's why I said it. Yeah, I was talking to Thomas because he joined the post race comms because I wanted to see if Discord actually registered. I mean, OBS actually registered the sound that was coming through Discord onto the app, so you guys will be able to hear something too. I do know that I need to put it a little bit down, because otherwise it will be a little bit too loud, I'm afraid. 13 dBs. Yeah, it is you, Monster. Good luck, mate. Good luck. I wish you all the best. I hope, it seems like we're readying up pretty soon. And I'm the only one in this channel, and I hope it is gonna stay that way, because, I mean, I wouldn't mind a little talking in between, when there's when there's a safety car or something like that. I wouldn't mind at all, but, if it's in the middle of the race and people are talking through it, that might be a little bit annoying. I mean, you could always hop into the comms box to do a bit of co-commentary with me. That would be quite fine. But apart from that, I mean, I can take. Oh, and we are readying up already. So I'll do the introduction pretty quick, and we are gonna be good to go. Hello guys, and welcome back to, once again, another live stream here on the VB Thomas platform. Today we are racing around the beautiful circuit of Saudi Arabia, all the way in Jeddah. We're going to be racing in Season 7, Round 7 of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here in AXS Mainstream Racing Series. That came out way smoother than I thought it would be, as I was a little bit struggling last week with the name, but I practiced a little bit. I was sitting in the train. I said to myself, AXS Mainstream Racing Series, AXS Mainstream Racing Series, and I mean, I practiced a little bit on the train. I probably looked like an idiot on the train because people were sitting across me, but I don't care. We don't care, guys. We are good to go here in Saudi Arabia, and we have got, I think, 14 drivers on the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. We do indeed have 14 drivers on the lineup, which is obviously lovely to see, because that means that almost everyone is showing up from this league. They're having a little bit of, I'm not going to say struggles, but it is quite struggling finding the right people for the right cars, because these guys are running a different kind of, layout, format, kind of something. They unlike any other league out there, they're using realistic performance. So that means that the Red Bull is probably the fastest on the track, and the Haas or the Williams might be the slowest on track. I mean, it was obviously the Haas a couple of years ago. Now I would say it's AlphaTauri, maybe Williams. Williams is probably not the slowest. I'm not sure why they're giving the slowest car to, I mean, the Williams to the fastest guy. As you can see, there is no Williams in the league. So, but it's very difficult to find the right people for the right car, and it seems like my controller isn't working. Oh, there we go. It is working. We're currently on board with Liquid Gas, who is the championship leader in AMRS. And it seems like he's letting it pass some guys. Doesn't want to be caught in a little bit of traffic here. So he's just going to cruise around the track, warm up the tires. Saudi Arabia is really where you need the heated tires. You've got Sector 1, quite of a fast one. You've got a lot of corners, a lot of walls on the outside, on the exits of the corners, all that kind of stuff. So you really need to have those grip on the tires, those heat in the tires, because otherwise if you've got cold tires you might get a little bit of understeer, and with that understeer you're definitely going to end up in the wall. With a little bit of overheated tires you sometimes get a bit of oversteer, which makes you spin. So that is definitely something the drivers don't want to have. So they just need to get the perfect temperature on their tires. And the reason why we are racing in the night is because otherwise it gets too hot on track. Like Bahrain, like Qatar, it's that region of the world we are in where it's more than 40-45 degrees. That's why we are also racing at night in Las Vegas, also because it's probably more spectacular. But they want to have the right temperature for the tires. If you're racing in Saudi Arabia in midday, like 3 p.m. or something like that, like we were racing in Belgium or Silverstone at 3 p.m., your tires would be boiling. They would be more than 110 degrees. And right now, the optimal temperature is around 100 degrees. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be what liquid gas is on. Maybe a little bit more because he's on the medium tires. And he's coming around that first sector at the moment, taking those corners quite beautifully. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead. That is the AlphaTauri car. And it seems like liquid gas is cutting the corner there. There might be an invalidation. It is indeed going to be an invalidation, as he got impeded by that AlphaTauri. I think it is Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed Thomas. And that is something we don't like to see in the comms box, of course. Drivers impeding each other, because that means that they won't be able to put a good qualifying on the board during that lap. And it's basically wasting an opportunity for them to put themselves on pole. Liquid gas was on the medium tire, so maybe Thomas knew that, because those two are admins, of course. So the likeliness of each other, reporting each other will be quite low. Although, doesn't mean they're biased, though. You can report whoever you want, but yeah, is it a valid report being on the medium tires? That is a good question. Thomas was just cruising around. Vextman putting himself in P1 at the moment, a 129.5. Blood Diamond comes across the line with a 128.5. So we're probably looking at a high 127 or a low 128, looking at the times right now. Thomas being one of those guys who's definitely going to be able to put himself somewhere around the top 5, as he's currently right behind Liquid Gas in the Drivers' Championship. He is in P2 in that AlphaTauri car, and all props to him. He's raced magnificently last week, and he got a good amount of points on Liquid Gas to try and close in that gap, because Liquid Gas crashed out last week. He had a little bit of an incident, went too fast up to the throttle, and just put himself into the wall. So that is something that, obviously it's not ideal as a racing driver, crashing yourself. Not on purpose, by the way, guys. He didn't crash himself out on purpose. He just put himself... he just lost control of his car, and he put it into the wall. Those things can happen as a racing driver, especially racing in the Haas. It's not a great car. It doesn't have the great handles. You need to be careful with the throttle. The corner probably doesn't turn in as well as the other cars, like a Red Bull, like a Ferrari, like a Mercedes, like an Aston Martin. So we can definitely say that Haas is probably one of the slowest cars on track. But still, Liquid Gas is able to put it somewhere in the top of the grid. So Gregory, he mentioned that, Liquid Gas is basically the Verstappen of this league. So we do want to see some good performances from him, but we also don't want to see him dominate, and that's probably why they put him in the Haas driver, but in the Haas car. But still, he is a little bit too fast for that car. So they might want to consider putting him in an even slower car, but I'm not sure if that is there. So we might want to see him race in an F2 car, then he'll be able to catch up with the midfield maybe. But for now, Thomas is going to come across the line to put a better time on the board. It'll be a 128.6, as I said, putting him somewhere in the 128s. And that is going to be P2 for now. So let's go back to the back of the grid, who haven't set a time yet. PD being one of them in the Aston Martin. A bit of a midfield car. The Aston Martin used to be very fast last season. But I feel like, this is still from 2022 season. So the Aston Martin was very good at the beginning of the season. Kind of dropped down a little bit throughout the rest of the season, more at the back. But they did do a great job. I feel like the McLaren is also a very fast car. And we've got Remy and Munster in that car today, representing the McLaren team. And PD and Mike Taylor are in the Aston Martin car today. So they're going to be in that car for the whole season. They are going to reevaluate whether they're going to have to need go into a faster car, a slower car. And that is basically how this game and this format works here in AMRS. So here comes Speedy. He's going to start his fast lap. We are seeing Haas right behind him. And I think that is not great from Liquid Gas. I think he should have made, he should have kept a little bit of different distance. Because right now we're looking at Liquid Gas being almost 1 second behind the Aston Martin. If the Aston Martin makes one little mistake, Liquid Gas is going to get impeded. But of course, it's the full ride of PD going on a fast lap and staying on that fast lap. Because Liquid Gas, he should have left a little bit more space for that Aston Martin car as they're coming through Sector 1 right now. And I do know that Liquid Gas is going to experience a little bit of dirty air, and that is going to make his cornering very difficult. As you can see, Liquid Gas already on the tail of the Aston Martin. He's also on those medium tires, so I'm not sure why he's gone onto the medium tires again. I mean, maybe to make it a little bit competitive for the rest of the grid. I'm not sure. Maybe he thinks he's too good on Saudi Arabia. Goes for the medium tires to give the other guys a little bit of chance of getting the pole. As you can see now on the tail of the Aston Martin driver, and this is definitely not what he has hoped that was going to happen. Liquid Gas within 2/10 possibly of the Aston Martin car. And this is not great, obviously. The Aston Martin car is going to feel pressured from behind, and he doesn't need to leave the space. He doesn't need to let him go, because he is on a fast lap, so is Liquid Gas. But it's always the priority of the first car to you know, just continue driving. And it's the priority of the second car, who is, in this case, the Haas driver, to keep it on a reasonable distance. And I don't think that is what Liquid Gas did today. He put too much pressure on the tail of the Aston Martin car. Might have been a little mistake. He did put himself in P4 on those medium tires of 128.9. If you take that in consideration with how fast the softs are compared to the medium tires, I think he would have been able to put himself on pole, even being on those soft tires. But then, of course, you'd be right behind PD, who was going to impede your lap, but it's not his fault. Let's go to the back of the grid. We've got both the McLaren drivers in Sector 3 at the moment. Well, Rami is coming into Sector 3. We've got Monster coming around the last corner. DRS wide open for the McLaren driver. And what will his time be? Being on the soft tires, he did do great last week. I do think he would have been able to do a little bit better. I mean, he's coming back into the pits. He's got 8 more minutes on the timetable. Still plenty of time to come out, put on those soft tires, go out for the night lap, then a fast lap, an out lap, an in lap, come in, probably come out again on the soft tires, and then do another lap. So, oh, look at that. Rami putting himself on pole. We might want to go on board with Chef here. Chef, who is not on a fast lap. We might want to go on board with PD. He's probably not on a fast lap either. Is Liquid Gas going to go for another one? I wouldn't say so, because both drivers were struggling a little bit down the straight, wanting to let each other go through. And we are possibly going to see a little bit of an angry text from PD saying, Liquid Gas, why did you push me so much? Oh my days. Apparently Monster had wing damage on his qualifying lap. So that means that he will be a little bit slower. Less wings means less downforce, and less downforce means you're going to be struggling around Saudi Arabia. You're going to have understeer, you're going to spin into the wall, and that is definitely not something you want around Saudi Arabia. Valine, I have no idea how to say that. I'm going to say 23 because... Or I'll say the Alpine because... Oh no, he's not the only Alpine in the car, on track. Interesting. Grimo currently on a fast one, entering Sector 2 at the moment. And Grimo, I don't think he was there last week, or was he? He does have the fastest first sector. I'm just going to put the lap data on real quick, so we can analyze what he has done compared to his last lap. And a 128.8 is his own time that he needs to beat. A 128.1 is the time he needs to beat to put himself on pole, on a provisional pole, of course, because we've still got plenty of fast drivers who haven't put a good time on the board, or probably could go a little bit faster. Grimo entering Sector 3, he's up by 5/10 already. That would put him somewhere around the top 2. Needs to improve a little bit more here in Sector 3 to grab that fastest lap on track. And that is going to give him pole position starting from first place here in Saudi Arabia. As I'm just gonna have a quick look, what is suggested to do? Is it starting on P2 or is it starting on P1? Because you want to be on the inside corner. So I'm just gonna have a quick look. He's improving. Okay, so P1 starts on the left side of the track, which means you have the inside line for the chicane, which is always great. I'm just thinking, Grimo putting himself in P2, is he gonna be able to keep that? Because we've got Blood Diamond, the Alpine driver, in P3 with a 128.5. He's most likely gonna be able to improve. And is Grimo still gonna be able to come into the pits to put on some new rubber, come out again, and put in a good lap on the board? I mean, 128.4 is absolutely amazing, but I do think he'll be able to go a little bit faster. Tom is on a fast lap, coming into the pits at the moment. I think he just has done a fast lap before this in lap. As we were looking at liquid gas on the soft tires, a 128.1 is the time to beat. He just needs to improve by 8 tenths. And considering he was on the medium tires last time around, he got impeded by the Aston Martin. Is it gonna be enough for liquid gas? Let's have a quick look. I probably shouldn't say impeding, because it wasn't really impeding. It was just, how do I explain this? Just held up. Let's say it like that. He was just a little bit too fast for the Aston Martin. Liquid gas heading into turn 1, hard braking zone, into 3rd gear, into 4th gear, coming out of this corner, and then heading into 5th gear, into 6th gear, into 7th gear, and then you want to go back to 4th gear, I think. Yes, indeed. Takes a lot of curb down the inside. Beautifully done. Very close to the corner on the right side, very close to the corner on the left side. It clips the wall in the entry. Yes, indeed. Back to 5th, back to 6th. Although I think 6th would have been a little bit difficult going through that corner because you might have a little bit of understeer. Here he comes through sector 2. He's already up by half a second. Going into 6th, going into 7th, then back into 5th probably for this fast right-hander. In 4th even, he goes to 5th, then he goes to 6th, to 7th, and then we're heading into another very difficult part of the track. You've got the DRS enabled here, but only for a very short period of time into that fast left-hander. Watch out for the curb on the entry. Watch out for the curb on the exit. And you're going to be able to nail it. Oh, clips the curb there a little bit. I mean, the wall on the exit. So definitely should watch out for the race there. And now he's just able to drain all of his ERS and DRS. Coming around the last corner, turn 27 here around Saudi Arabia. Probably the track with the most corners on the calendar. And down the straight he goes. It'll be a 128.2, improves by 7 tenths. And is not going to be able to put himself on pole. P2 is the time for, is the position for the Haas driver. And I'm really wondering if anyone is going to be able to beat Rami. Maybe his own teammates, a Monster, who is still in the pits at the moment, might possibly need to change his front wing. But that doesn't take too much long in the pit lane, does it? Vexman is also on a fast one. We might want to go on board with the Mercedes driver. Just started this lap, and he already impedes. It validates. He's not going to be able to continue completing this qualifying lap. He'll have to come back into the pits. And does he have enough time? Maybe he needs to save a little bit of areas and go out again on the same tires, because I don't think he'll have enough time to come back into the pits, put on some new rubber, and go out again. BT just started this lap. You might want to go on board with the Aston Martin driver. Heading into turn 3, heading into turn 4, fast right-hander. And we've got turn 5, the fast left-hander. Turn 6, fast left-hander. And then we've got turn 7. Oh, almost impedes. Plays around with the curbs there. And he's going to be impeding indeed. He goes off track completely. I'm not sure he's actually improving. He's not improving. 2 seconds down on his lap. Only through sector 1. So you can see that sector 1 is definitely where you're going to be able to gain a lot of time. Still a lot of guys out on track, Rami being one of them, and I think he's on a fast one. He's got no traffic ahead of him, only the Alfa Romeo driver, who's currently entering sector 2, so he might need to watch out for that car. Almost impedes coming out of that corner, but still did it, improving by 2 tenths. Rami is on a stroll. Look at that. He is on a fast lap at the moment, and he's really flying through Saudi Arabia. Might have put a lot of practice into the track. You can definitely see that it reflects on his qualifying pace. and he's coming through Sector 2 at the moment, heading into Sector 3, but he first needs to get past that fast left-hander, a very difficult fast left-hander. Oh no, it's already in Sector 3, I didn't know that. Oh, he's sliding all over the place. I think he's lagging a little bit, and that is possibly going to be a little bit dangerous to start in first place. Because you don't want to be starting in first place when lagging, because the guy behind you doesn't know what to do, doesn't need to overtake you, or doesn't need to overtake you. Rami coming around the last corner, lap 20, corner 27. Am I always saying lap 27? I should say turn 27. Oh, and he improves by 3/10, putting himself on pole position with a 127.8. You might want to go on board with Thomas here. Heading into Sector 2, he was up by a little bit of time. I think he was up by about 3 or 4 tenths. As he's heading into Sector 3 at the moment. He's got no traffic ahead of him, only the Aston Martin car, but he's too far ahead at the moment. And he's up by 2 tenths. That will put him somewhere around the top 3. And if Liquid Gas is still in the pit lane, so he won't be able to put himself on pole, he thought, I'm getting you on track anyway. Thomas coming around the last corner. He's gonna overtake the Mercedes car, who was parking his car on the outside corner. Here comes Thomas around the last corner. He goes, the AlphaTauri car. What will he be able to put on the timetable? 2 tenths of an improvement. It'll be a provisional P3. Is anyone going to be able to get that time? Blood Diamond is up on his time. I do need to blow my nose real quick, because otherwise I'm going to talk very nasally. Blood Diamond was up on his lap, but I'm not sure if that is going to be enough for the Alpine driver. He needs to improve by about 6 tenths, 7 tenths to be able to put himself on pole, and 2 tenths to put himself in the top 3. That top 3 position is definitely where you want to be, because you're going to be behind that P2 and that P1. You're going to have a little bit of slipstream. I wouldn't say it gives you enough slipstream to make the overtake, or the straight is not long enough. I think someone crashed out coming around the last corner. It was a front wing close to that wall there, and he puts himself in P3. He does improve by quite a bit, 3.3 tenths. And the only 2 drivers who are going to be able to improve, it's not going to be Grimo. I thought it was going to be Grimo, but it's only Chef, and he is down by 13 seconds. So that is going to be your qualifying. Rami takes the pole here around Saudi Arabia with a 127.8, and Liquid Gas putting himself in P2. Might possibly want to be in P2 to go around the outside. Blood Diamond only 12 thousandths away from getting that P2. And then you've got Thomas in P4, Grimo in P5, and further we've got Don Walsh, Monster, Hybrid, Vex, Mike Taylor, PD, Chef, Willane, and Smurfed all the way at the back of the grid. A 133.1 is the best time, the worst time here on track. I wouldn't say it's too bad. We definitely want to see some faster laps from the guys at the bottom, especially being on the Red Bull cars. I feel like they need to put some practice in. I'm not going to call you slow, guys. But being in that Red Bull car, you need to perform, you need to do well, and that is something we are not seeing at the moment from both the Red Bulls, a 130.4 and a 133.1. But I do understand people might not be able to put a lot of practice on the board, on the game. And I totally understand that. I totally have respect for hardworking people and people who want to, try their best. Try their best in life. Gaming is not everything. But I feel coming into a league race, you should have done a little bit of practice. And that is something I miss at the bottom of the grid. But we might be able to see them climb up their way up the grid during the race. Because, we saw Chef doing a great job last week, although his AI lagged out a couple of times. And then you've got Get Smurf, who also got a very good result, if I'm not mistaken. Did he? No, he didn't score points, but he might be able to do so today. You can see the standings of tonight. I'm just going to read the chat real quick. Happy with a P2 and 2 fresh softs for the start. Yes, indeed. That is definitely what you want to have here around Saudi Arabia, because the amount of safety cars might be quite high. Just going to take a quick sip, and then we are ready to go, guys. For everyone who doesn't know yet, this live stream and this commentary and the league has been sponsored by Demo Invest. It's Gregory's company. So make sure you check out Demo Invest or DM Gregory if you're interested in getting yourself into investing. I'm just gonna have a quick look again what Demo Invest is all about. It's quite a cool concept, you know, and I'm pretty sure Gregory will be able to give you more information on that. It's a trading company specialized in a foreign exchange market, partnering with an education platform. So it's not like it's something very sketchy. You might think, you know, oh, do we have information? We do have information, so I'm able to talk a little bit more. So you don't have to think, you know, investing, it's something sketchy. I never know what to invest in or whatever. I'm pretty sure Gregory will be able to give you more information about that. And the fact they're sponsoring, I mean, they're partnering with an education platform does mean quite a bit already. So make sure to DM Gregory if you want more information. Thank you very much, Gregory. Gregory, as we were talking about Gregory, you put something in the chat here. Good about the last lap is Grim and me, we're going for a fast lap, both on the same time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it is what it is, Gregory. I mean, you never know what to expect coming on track. As it seems like there is a McLaren driver who... Is the lobby glitched? Is the lobby glitched? I'd say the lobby is glitched, because he didn't get DNF'd. Huh, interesting. All right, looking at the tires, we are looking at some very interesting tire strategies already. Going on to the softs, it's a no-go in Saudi Arabia. These guys are going to crash out, or are going to crash out themselves, or are going to spin themselves, or whatever. Medium tires is probably the way to go. Medium hards, hard mediums, soft hards doesn't work. Hard softs doesn't work. Medium softs doesn't work. So go with medium hards. Or you could go into the softs if you don't think you have to stretch those soft tires for too long. Because they get too heated, they get too bad, they get, I mean, really, really bad. And you're probably not going to make it onto lap 5. So we might see them gain a couple of positions at the beginning of the race, but we are going to see them drop those positions again after lap 3, lap 4. These medium tires are very, very strong. We're only racing for 25 laps around Saudi Arabia. So it's not a... I mean, it's a long track. It's a long distance they have to race on one lap. But that also means you have to do less rounds, which is I was going to say awfully good, but that doesn't really sound very great. So we have the top 5 starting on the mediums. Then we've got one driver on the soft tires. We might possibly see him gain 2 to 3 positions, maybe 1 or 2. And then we're looking at a medium tire runner, Monster in P7, Hybrid plays in P8 on the hard tires, Vexman on the medium tires in P9. We've got 3 drivers on the soft tires, a hard tire runner and a medium tire runner at the back of the grid. Alright guys, we're currently in Season 7, Round 7 of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix here in Axis Mainstream Racing Series. And I hope you guys are ready for what is about to happen here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. All the cars are lined up, the engines are roaring, and the guys are ready to put something spectacular on a track. It seems like you're waiting a little bit more. I'm not sure what we are waiting for at the moment. I think the lobby is glitched, but I could be wrong. Because I knew that that Remy wasn't able to go out. Yeah, the lobby is glitched. Okay. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Are we gonna wait? I think we do have to restart, guys. I know some of you are listening to the live stream. We're not going underway, so I think restart, please, or... Oh, we've got 5 red lights here in Saudi Arabia. Remy starting on pole position. And off we go. We've got 5 red lights and away we go here in Saudi Arabia. Remy already getting overtaken. Oh, look at that. He loses 3 positions in one straight. And he's going very, very deep. That it was not Remy. That was Monster, actually. And it seems we got very clean through turn 1. Dom Walsh taking P5 already. And he's going to try to keep Remy behind him for as long as possible. We've got a crash. Chef And Hybrid Blaze all the way at the back of the grid. Hybrid Blaze was running those hard tires. Chef running the soft tires. And Liquid Gas is now taking the lead of the race. We might want to go on board here with Mike Taylor right around the outside of the Mercedes driver. Brakes a little bit later, and he crashes out the Mercedes driver. Vexman already into the wall. Rami has joined again. Oh, he was in AI mode. Oh, he was in AI mode. Fair enough. That's why he probably lost so many positions. And he's now also 1.3 seconds behind Dom Walsh, which is not a great, obviously. PD already gained 4 positions during the start of that race. And it seems like Chef just got past Hybrid Blaze all the way at the back of the grid. We've got a little bit of a group of 3 people here at the back of the grid. Chef leading that little group. He's on the soft tires, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be able to take a little bit of a lead from these two. Vexman now on the tail of the Ferrari driver. Around the outside he goes. And I think Hybrid Blaze just said, you know, Vexman, you're on the faster tire. Bring me to Chef and bring me to the rest of the drivers. Let's go on board with the top of the grid. As we've got Blood Diamond keeping himself right behind Liquid Gas, which is obviously great. Because we don't want to see Liquid Gas pull away too aggressively. You know, you don't want to see a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6 second gap to P2. And Thomas is already able to catch up to the Alpine driver. He's got that Mercedes driver right behind him though. So we're going to have a 4 or 5-way battle. And hopefully the Rami is going to be able to catch up to these 5 people. Having a 5-way battle for the lead of the race is quite crazy. We don't see that very often during a race. The game suggests a soft medium strategy. But we will see those soft tire runners drop off very, very easily. Rami cutting the corner there. That might be a warning for track invalidation. But I guess we will be seeing that later. I mean, not track invalidation, but track limits, of course, is what I should say. At the back of the grid, we are not seeing many drivers having a battle with each other. Vexman did catch up to Chef. Chef defending the inside line there. Vex had nowhere to go as they're coming through that fast part of the track. Blood Diamond seems to make the overtake on the Haas driver coming through Sector 3. We're looking at Vexman right now trying to make the overtake on the Red Bull driver. He's not going to have the DRS yet, so he doesn't need to worry about keeping it behind the Red Bull driver. Let's have a quick look with Blood Diamond here, who took the lead of the race from the Haas driver. Grimo looking for an opportunity to go down the inside. The room was not there, I'm afraid, but hopefully with a good exit coming through Sector 2, through Turn 2, I should say, he's going to be able to make the overtake into Turn 4, into Turn 5 right now. And we've got Turn 6 being that slow left-hander, I mean fast left-hander probably. And this is a very difficult sector to make the overtake because, I mean, you've got such close corners, you've got such close everything. It's just not possible of making the overtake anywhere. It seems like Thomas is kind of losing the toe from the top too. We've got a yellow flag and we've got a safety car already. And I think that must be Hybrid Blaze. Does he have a broken front wing? He's not coming into the pit, so I wouldn't say it's him. It might be Lily William. It's not Lily William, it's someone else who has a broken front wing. Let's have a quick look here, guys. It is not an Aston Martin. It is not a McLaren. Is it Don Walsh? It's not Don Walsh either. Who has that broken front wing, guys? Is it Rami? Oh, yeah, Rami does have a broken front wing on his left side of his front wing. And he's glitching all over the place, so this might impact this race, as he does need to come into the pits to put a new front wing on the car. And I'm really wondering who's going to come into the pits. Are you coming into the pits to go from soft to the hard tires? I would say so. Although we might see a lot of safety cars here already. The Alfa Romeo coming into the pits, so is Rami. They need to watch out. They need to watch out. Rami almost going into the back of the Alfa Romeo. Monster not coming into the pits. It seems like Petey and Mike Taylor are both coming into the pits. That is going to be a double stack from both the Aston Martins. So this is not very well played. But shouldn't be forming too much of a problem, if I'm being honest. Here you go. Mike Taylor coming into the pits. He's putting on the hards. Go all the way till the end of the race. Is that a good guess? Chef also coming into the pits. Vexman coming into the pits. He also had a broken front wing. Then you've got Hybrid Place staying out. Is he going to be able to get the position from the Mercedes driver? I'd say so. I'd say so. Vexman is going to drop one position. I don't think Chef will. No, he won't be. And here comes Hybrid Place around turn 2, and he'll take P2 already. And we're just waiting behind the safety car at the moment. We've got nothing else to do. As I'm just going to check the live stream to see if the audio quality is good. Just so you guys are not listening. I mean, just making sure you guys are not listening to a bad live stream, you know. Yeah, so the live stream is of good quality, I'd say so. We've got 6 watchers, by the way, guys. Welcome into the live stream. If you're new here, make sure to join the league. If you haven't already, you can always DM me on Discord. It's VB Thomas, like stated, underneath my camera here. And I'll pop you an invite if you want to join. It's a very fun league. Only 14 drivers, but that means there is still a lot of room for new drivers. So if you're looking for a new league on Wednesday, make sure to join Axis Mainstream Racing Series. It is, I'm saying it more smooth day in, day out. It's just working fine. It's working fine. My mind's working fine for this time. Alright, so one more lap behind the safety car, I'd say. Is everyone caught up to the safety car? I mean, how do you say that? Line? Train? I'd say train. I'd say train. Oh, by the way, I also got a safety car restart song. I mean, not a restart song, but just a safety car song. But I'm not sure whether I should keep it professional and not sing on live stream, or whether these guys are a bit goofy and let me do whatever I want to. But I'll keep it professional for this time. If you guys say, Thomas, go sing a bit. Because I'm also known on other live streams for being Thomas the beatboxer, Thomas the rapper, Thomas the freestyler. So I'll give a little bit of a freestyle on the guys on track. We are together forming a pack, yeah, with 14 drivers on the track. I'm thinking about what rhymes with track. Lack, but that's not possible. Sing. All right. Here we go. It is a bad song, though. It's only like 5 or 6 sentences. Okay, so it's safety car. It is a safety car situation. Safety car, it is a safety car situation. Everyone is driving on a straight line, except for when you're going through the corner. Safety car situation here in... Yeah, but this is Axis Mainstream Racing Series. And it doesn't sound like that, because usually it's only 3 words. But, I mean, this league... but it would sound better if it was Mainstream Racing Series. And it is... I mean, I'm not sure if I can expose anything. But to anyone who is listening to the live stream... We might be changing the name of the league, but that is a bit of a secret. So we're in the safety car, and I mean, we're not in the safety car, obviously, but we're behind the safety car, and I think we'll be wait, the safety car is not coming into the pits? Oh, man. Oh, what a no! What is Blood Diamond doing? Safety car. Oh, no, Blood Diamond. Oh, man, what did he do? He was just accelerating. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, his race is gone. His race is over. He's in the wall. Liquid Gas in the lead of the race again. And what did he do? He just heard me singing, and he was like, oh, fuck no. I'm going to spin into the safety car. I don't want to listen to this bullshit anymore. And we've got another yellow flag right now. Oh, what a safety car restart, guys. Probably the most chaotic I've seen in a while. Blood Diamond has left the session already. Chef having a heated battle with the McLaren driver. He's letting him go through. What is happening? Why did he lose his front wing? Wait, that doesn't even make sense. Oh, and a 5-second time penalty. Oh, and now he's crashing into... Oh, jeez, man. He just crashed himself out on purpose, Remy. VSC enabled. As I don't think we will be seeing a full safety car. Yeah, I mean... Oh, Remy has left the session too. Thomas has, had a lead of 1.5 seconds during that virtual safety car. But Thomas, I mean, I'm talking about liquid gas, but Thomas is caught up again. Has caught up again. Yes, sir. Need to get my grammar correct. Thomas, you're live on the live stream. We're trying to be professional here as much as we can. Virtual safety car is probably going to be ending pretty soon. Liquid gas is already speeding up. We should call him, well, we could call him Liquid Gas, but we can also call him Jack, obviously, because his first name is Jack. And whatever he prefers. Tom is on the tail of Liquid Gas at the moment. And he's going to try and keep it there. His green lights and go, go, go for the top three at the moment. The rest of the drivers also have green flags, but we are not battling for the lead of the race there. Thomas looking to go down the inside, but he decides to back out of it. Grimo has formed himself, well, has added himself to that top three. And he's going to stay there for a long, long time. Monster currently in P4, 2.6 seconds from the lead of the race. So we might not be able to see him catch up. And as I said, Get Smurfed. He is going to be able to put a good performance during the race. Just needs to keep it on track. Goes onto the curb a little bit too much. No pressure on the shoulders of the Red Bull driver. Everything is profit and nothing is loss for the Red Bull driver. Does get overtaken by Dom Walsh at the moment, but I don't think that should be a problem too much. He's going to score 4 points if he keeps this pace, and hopefully he's going to be able to do so. Let's go on board with Vexman here on the tail of Chef. Both drivers have been battling lately. I mean, last couple of laps, they've been battling with each other because Chef got crashed out or crashed himself out. I have no idea. So did Vexman. And both of the drivers are now back behind each other. We're looking at a position change between Lily Willin and Petey. It seems like Vexman is trying to go around the outside. DRS is not going to be enabled yet. And he's got to back out of this move because there's no way a driver makes it out of Q. I mean, Sector 3 into Sector 3 side by side through that part of the track. Here comes Vexman. Goes, oh! I think that was a little bit moving down the straight by Chef, but I could be wrong. Vexman, who was looking to go down the inside, decided to back out of it. Oh, and now Gregory is defending the inside line there. Beautifully done by the Red Bull driver. I do think that moving down the straight is a little bit dangerous. Here comes Vexman down the straight, and he will possibly keep up with the pace of the Ferrari driver. That Red Bull driver was just an obstacle up the road. And now he's just going to push back to the Ferrari driver. Both drivers probably running medium tires. I'm not sure if Hybrid Place is still going on those hard tires. No, he's gone onto the medium tires. So, oh, Vexman is on the soft tires. That explains quite a bit why he's catching up that bad. Let's go back to the top of the grid, because we've got a two-way battle for P2 at the moment. Grimo on the tail of Thomas. Thomas, of course, needs to get a lot of points for the Drivers' Championship. Mainly because he's only down by 7 points on Liquid Gas, if I'm not mistaken. I think Thomas has about 63 points. Liquid Gas has 70. And are we going to see another crash by Liquid Gas? I mean, I know he's listening. Liquid Gas, just keep it on track. Don't put too much pressure on your shoulders, and you will be able to take the lead of the championship. I mean, keep the lead of the championship. Because if he crashes out right now, it doesn't matter whether Thomas gets a P2 or a P1. He's going to get the first place in the Drivers' Championship anyway. Grimo making him move around the outside. Beautifully done down the straight. And now Thomas is still sticking down the inside, but it seems like Grimo has a little bit more straight line speed. Caught that slipstream from the Haas driver up ahead. And that is going to be a B2 for the Mercedes driver. Beautifully done by Grimo, sticking it around the outside. Thomas, nothing he could have done. And the DRS is probably going to be enabled too. We're seeing a lot of gaps between the drivers in the midfield. We've got Monster 2.7 seconds behind Thomas. Petey being 1.7 seconds behind Monster. We've got Don Walsh being 1.4 seconds behind. Lily Willing 2.7 seconds behind. Get Smurf 3.8 seconds behind. It seems like Vexman is trying to catch up to Get Smurf, so we might want to see that battle, because that is going to be an easy move, I think, for Vexman being on those soft tires. Of course, you've got Get Smurf being on those medium tires, which is obviously not great at this point during the race, because Vexman being on those fresh soft tires. Oh, 5 laps. That is actually not as fresh as I thought they would be. And Chef, I mean, he's gone onto the hard tires. So did Dom Walsh to just finish this race. There's still 15 more laps to go after this one. And I'm pretty sure those hard tires will make until the end of the race. 20 laps on the hard tires around Saudi Arabia is not a problem at all. You just need to hope for no safety cars anymore. And that is, of course, what Dom Walsh and Chef are going to be doing. Here comes Waxman around the outside of the Red Bull driver. And he's going to be making a move. Yes, indeed, he will. And he will make it around the Red Bull driver before the corner is there, before the braking zone. And he makes up that position. Beautiful broadcast mode we are seeing at the moment. And you can also see that the Saudi Arabia track is formed around a little bit of a lake. Kind of see something. It's Smurf trying to go down the inside. He's not going to be able to make that move. And now he's going to lose a little bit of time due to his awkward line coming through that part of the track. Petey has caught up to Monster in P4 and P5. So we are probably going to be seeing a good overtake by Petey, being on the fresher medium tires at this point during the race. Monster being on 9-lap-old mediums. Petey on 6-lap-old mediums. Might want to get those position changes real quick. Petey already gained 6 positions, so he's up for a very competitive race here at the moment. Came all the way from P11 to P5 already, and is possibly looking at a P4 finish during this race. We still have 15 more laps to go. We don't need to panic too much. I mean, Monster doesn't need to panic too much. He can be overtaken, but can get those positions back on Petey. Just needs to nail his strategy, nail his consistency, and it'll be all good for the McLaren driver. Let's go back to the back of the grid. Chef finding himself in a little bit of a sandwich between his own teammate and Hybrid Place. Now Chef is going to make the overtake on Get Smurf. It doesn't look like he's going to let him go through. Get Smurf keeping it in front of Chef. Chef just needs a good exit. Right the outside he goes. Look at that by Chef making the overtake on his teammate. And now Get Smurf is going to make it difficult for the Ferrari car. Make it as difficult as you can. Put on some Perez defense. Get Smurf, you'll be able to do great. DRS wide open for Get Smurf. Down the inside he goes. No, the teammates go side by side through a difficult part of the track. But they make it out alive. Get Smurf is going to be behind Chef. It seems like we are looking at a position change here at the top 3. Remo taking the lead of the race on Liquid Gas. Now Thomas is hopefully going to make it difficult for Liquid Gas to keep up with the Mercedes driver. 3 drivers battling for the top 3. And this battling could potentially give the opportunity to Petey and Monster to catch up. Because both drivers only 2.8 seconds behind them. 2.9 right now, 3 seconds. So I think they're losing a little bit of time due to the battling they're having themselves. Although Monster hasn't caught up. Oh wait, Petey made the overtake, of course. Petey was behind Monster, and now he's already in front of Monster. So now Monster is just trying to catch up to Petey, basically. And it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do so. Already in 9/10s down on Petey, up on Petey, I should say. And Dom Welsh is coming in fast. Look at that, 1.7 seconds. I think it was around 3 seconds a couple of laps ago. Because of course he's on those fresher hard tires. And hard tires are going to be able to work a little bit longer throughout the race. He might be able to switch on to the soft tires at the end of the race. And he's definitely looking at a great position here today. Down the straight, we are most likely going to see a Liquid Gas make the overtake on Grimo. Grimo defending the inside line at the moment. And here comes Liquid Gas. A DRS wide open coming out of the last corner of the track. And we will be seeing an overtake from Liquid Gas. Let's have a quick look. Down the straight they go. Liquid Gas, DRS wide open, ERS wide open. He's using a little bit of ERS to make the overtake, but there was no need. Grimo, who doesn't have any DRS to work with, and that is going to be an easy move for the Haas driver. Thomas trying to make the overtake. Monster is already coming into the pits. He was on 10-lap-old medium tires, I should say 11-lap-old medium tires, and he's most likely going to go onto the hard tires to finish off this race, hopefully. I'm not sure if going onto the soft tires was a little bit smarter to finish off the race on those soft tires. I don't think they'll last that long, but you can hope for a late safety car and go onto another set of soft tires. And he's going to drop back all the way to P11. That is not great, obviously, but he will be fastest. I mean, he will probably be the fastest at the end of the race. And the undercut on this game is very, very strong. So now he's going to be behind Get Smurf. It is going to be difficult for him. Thomas, who is not able to catch up to the top 2. Look at that, a 1.6 second gap. Petey catching up to Thomas at the moment. And I think Get Smurf wants to let the McLaren driver go through. As you can see, they're taking a very wide line. And I think that was on purpose, if I'm being honest. But here comes Grimo making the overtake around the outside. Beautiful overtake by the Mercedes driver. And I think that was a little bit of a strategic play by Liquid Gas. He'll have another DRS opportunity down the main straight here. And another DRS opportunity down the start-finish straight. So, doesn't need to worry at all about DRS opportunities. He'll have plenty. And he possibly needs to make the overtake at the moment. Try to... Oh, and I think the... Oh, no, he's juking him. He's juking the Haas driver. I mean, I thought he was coming into the pits, but then he came back on track, trying to, you know, yeah, juke him out. But he didn't get caught, the Haas driver. So both drivers still on track. What I think Liquid Gas needs to do is make the overtake as soon as possible down the start-finish straight, and then run away through Sector 1 and Sector 2, because Sector 1 and Sector 2 is not a good place to make the overtake at all. The only opportunity I see... Oh, and the Mercedes driver goes off track! Look at that, but recovers quite nicely. Oh, might possibly have a broken front wing off that. Gets Mervs getting a 5-second time penalty, and Grimo only drops back to P5, which is... I mean, it's not bad. It's not great either. P5 for the Mercedes driver. And we still have 12 more laps to go. So maybe it's time for him to come into the pits indeed. Go into the hard tires. Because these medium tires will be gone before lap 15. And now, I mean, Liquid Gas is all the cards in his hands. He can do anything with those cards. Thomas is not necessarily able to catch up to the Haas driver at the moment. And a P2 for Thomas is even great, you know. He's only 7 points down on Liquid Gas at the Drivers' Championship at the moment. He would be 7 more points down after this race if he's not able to catch up. Thomas comes into the pits, so is Liquid Gas. Oh, it seems like Thomas is not coming into the pits. He's going to go out for another lap, and that means he might be going for a medium-soft strategy. The undercut is very powerful here, so we might be seeing Liquid Gas gain a bit of time on Thomas. And it seems like Liquid Gas is going onto the hard tires. He saw a lot of guys on the soft tires struggle already. Look at that. Vexman on 10-lap old soft tires. He's coming back into the pits to go onto another set of softs probably. Oh, and a double stack by the Mercedes team. He's going onto the medium tires. Interesting choice. Gets smurfed on those fresh softs. He's going to be on the tail of Mike Taylor. And here he goes. Yo, 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 little pigeon. How are you doing, mate? Oh, long time no see. I don't think... Where did we meet each other again? Was it Grid Finder? Power Grid? I think it was, wasn't it? Welcome, mate. How are you doing? Are you looking for our league? These guys are looking for some drivers. They've only got 14 drivers, and I do know they can use a couple of drivers to fill their grid, of course. Here comes Smurf down the straight, DRS wide open, and that will most likely be an overtake for the Mercedes driver. Red Bull driver, of course. Takes a good line coming through turn 1, and he's going to be able to keep the Aston Martin driver behind him. Oh, a little bit of a snap there from Mike Taylor. I thought he had a good exit, but then went too fast into the throttle, and unfortunately did not make the overtake again. Here comes Monster and making the overtake on Chef with the use of DRS. And that will be moved on. Chef with another good position, I do have to say that, but still has to come to the pits. 10-lap old hards. It'll be difficult. It'll be difficult. Mike Taylor, a 3-second time penalty, and that is something we don't usually see around Saudi Arabia. Penalties. It's just, there's not a lot of track limits. You know, you've got corners on the exit, and that is it. We've got a lot of corners. And usually drivers who get a lot of track limits here in Saudi Arabia get a lot of track limits in other tracks too. On other tracks too. On tracks where there's no walls on the exit. As you can see, Monster making the overtake down the inside. Beautiful line there from the McLaren driver, and he makes up a position on 3-lap old hards. He's going to finish the race on probably not on 3-lap old, on 13-lap old hards. And that is the way to go for the McLaren driver. Guy in P1, Thomas W, being on 14-lap old mediums. I think he'll switch over to the soft tires if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, PD being on 11-lap old mediums. He came to the pits during that first safety car, and he'll probably go on to the soft tires too. 3-second time penalty for Chef. He's currently in P7, but that is most likely going to drop him to P8 or P9. Vexman being on those fresh medium tires. Let me have a quick... yes, PGR, mate. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty fine myself. Thank you, Pigeon. If they want another person in a reserve role, I'll take it. I'm in the off season for PGR at the moment. Pigeon, I'm not in PGR anymore. I had little words with the admin team about stewarding and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I'll send you the link to the live stream, to the league, mate, and I'll try to get you in. Try to get you a seed. I'm not sure how fast you are compared to the rest of the guys, but they're running realistic performance, by the way. So the guys the guys who are fast are probably gonna end up in a Williams or an AlphaTauri or a Haas, for example. So you'll probably end up somewhere there, because I know you're pretty fast, faster than some of these guys on track. So you'll do great. You'll do great. By the way, I would like to give a little bit of an announcement. Make sure to check out Demo Invest. They're the sponsor of this league and the live stream and the commentary. You wouldn't have a commentary without them, of course. And obviously, if you're into investing, if you're scared about investing, just check them out. They'll explain you everything. Just check them on, I don't know where you can actually check them. Facebook, YouTube maybe on the internet. Just DM Gregory and he'll explain everything to you. So check him out and start investing today. Remo on the tail of Dom Walsh. Here he comes. Needs to watch out for that wall on the entry. Dom Walsh was a little bit. Thanks, man. You've got me on Discord anyway. Yes, sir. I'm not sure if I actually have you as a friend. I could be wrong there. And it looks like we've got a two-way battle for P5. And PD coming into the pits. Oh, and a little bit of an awkward exit by Lily Willeen. He's on 15 lap hold. Oh, and a safety car situation. Someone has crashed out. Is that going to be Gret Smurf? I think it is indeed going to be Get Smurf. He is in the wall. And he has a broken front wing. And no front wing at all, actually. So that is going to be a safety car situation. And the guys who just came into the pits. Oh, Thomas. Oh, Thomas. You are a lucky man. You are a lucky man. I think we're going to tie it up for the Drivers' Championship. Because Thomas is going to be able to come into the pits right now. And he's not going to lose as much time. He'll be on the fresher tire. He'll be on the faster tire, being onto the soft tires, compared to Liquid Gas being on the hard tires. And I already know what's happening. I already know what's happening right now. Liquid Gas being on those hard tires, he's going to be cursing. He's going to be cursing in the car. He's going to be like, "Ah, man, why is this happening to me? Couldn't it be to someone else?" And no, it couldn't be Liquid. Because sometimes there are a lot of ups and downs during a race. And this is one of the downs. You might see Thomas crash out himself. You never know. So I'm just gonna write some things down here, just things that I remember from the live stream, because I need to do an interview later, so make sure to stick around for the interview. So I'll be asking a lot of questions about these guys, about the guys who are in the top 3, and hopefully we're gonna be able to do a good interview. It's the first time we do this, so make sure to stick around. Let's have a quick look. Thomas ends up before Liquid Gas. Liquid Gas does come into the pits with probably a good decision going on to the soft tires. I'd say a good decision. Safety car lap. What lap is this? Lap 18. For Liquid. There we go. Petey also came into the pits. He's gonna be ahead of Dom Walsh and Liquid Gas, which I didn't expect at all. Send you a friend request, mate. I'm gonna shoot off. Great stream as always, mate. No worries. Thank you very much, Pigeon. I'll send you the live stream as soon as possible. Not the live stream, the link as soon as possible. Alright, guys, so we're gonna have a little bit of a break here. Everyone has gone on to fresh tires except for Vext and Dom Walsh, because they've just come into the pits to go onto the medium tires. But apart from that, should be all good. Should be all good. So I'm just gonna write down some names who are in the top 3. So Thomas, this is for Liquid. I'm just writing some things down, by the way, guys. I'm just trying to see if you know, if I'm able to remember some things during the interview, because I write these things down just so I have something to say with the interviews, because I think I'm having a bit of problems with remembering things that just happened. So just making sure I remember some things. Like right now, for example, Liquid, lap 18 safety car. What was going through your mind during that safety car? Because obviously it's... Oh, and he left the session. He might need an invite. Hold up. He might need an invite. Let's invite him. Let's invite him. I don't know if I've got him as my friend. Does he need an invite? I don't have him added, mate. I can send an invite to Chef, but I don't think it'll be good. What platform is he running anyway? Oh, it's PS only. Maybe he needs to add me. Oh no, never mind. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to send him an invite. Chef, if you're listening, send an invite to... Oh, and a 5-second time penalty for Chef. That is not great. Oh, Jason said... Blood Diamond says, fuck this game in the chat. Does he need an invite? Let me have a quick look. Liquid, yes. Jack. Alright, I think the safety car will come in at the pits pretty soon. I'm having one problem though, the nature is calling. So these guys, I'm really hoping for not a safety car anymore, because otherwise it's going to be in my pants. But, yeah. Oh, Chef didn't, oh no, it's Get Smurf didn't catch up yet. Oh, we won't be coming into the pits yet. Will we? I'm not sure. Usually the safety car comes in around the last corner. It doesn't look like it, so we will be having one more lap behind the safety car, and then we're going to have 5 laps of racing. Racing. We are racing around Saudi Arabia. A lot of guys at the back of the grid have a bit of penalties. Oh, and Chef coming into the pits right now. Probably to not serve that 5-second... No, to... Yeah. He's going to serve that 5-second time penalty. I thought you can serve a 5-second time penalty, but it's a drive-through you can't serve during the safety car. He's going to switch over to the soft tires to hopefully get into the top 10. 2 drivers crashed out already. It's Rami at the pole position of today. Crashed out himself on purpose in the wall. So I'd say... I'm not going to say... You know what the thing is? I would say karma is a bitch, but it doesn't make too much sense, because you made yourself spin into the wall. I mean, you turned into the wall yourself, so... Blood Diamond, man, I have no idea what happened there with Blood Diamond, guys. I think he thought that the safety car was gone already. During the last corner, you've got a little bit of a U-turn, hairpin kind of something. It's I'm not going to say a really fast corner. It's like mid-speed, the same speed as you're going through this part of the track. He was just speeding that heavily, and he ended up in the back of the safety car. The safety car was going to come into the pits. He just didn't care. He just wanted to race, and you know. Oh, Liquid Gas has joined again. That is great news, obviously, because otherwise he wasn't going to be able to battle for that race win, which he will be able to do right now. And my question is, how will these soft tires hold up? Will they be faster than those medium tires of Dom Walsh? I'd say they are going to be faster, but at the end of the race, I think the medium tires might be a little bit faster, but Dom Walsh just gained so many positions going on to the medium tires. And I think he's done a great job. He's done a great job. Safety car coming into this lap. 5 more laps to be driven, and I'm really thinking, I'm really thinking what these guys are having in their minds right now. Because it is going to be 5 laps of chaos. Everyone is so close to each other again. And I really hope they'll come around alive. Around turn 1, I really hope they come out alive. Here we go. Last lap. The guys are coming around the last corner. Thomas is going to be leading the safety car restart with PD on his tail and Dom Walsh in P3. And there they go. Green flags and go, go, go. Liquid is already on the tail of Dom Walsh. As you can see, soft tires enabled for Liquid Gas. He came to the pits quite early during the safety car. And Monster, ooh, Vexman coming into the pits. That is not going to be great, because he is going to drop back all the way to P12 and is possibly not going to be anywhere near the top 10 anytime soon. Liquid Gas now 110 behind Dom Walsh. Oh, Liquid Gas almost loses his car. Needs to watch out with his throttle input, obviously. Coming through a fast part of the track, being on those soft tires is definitely going to be a benefit. And he's going to have some dirty air at the moment. A little bit of understeer for Liquid Gas, but that shouldn't be forming a problem. ERS wide open for the Haas driver, trying to go around the outside. Almost steps the back of the Alfa Romeo. But Dom Walsh is defending perfectly at the moment. A Liquid Gas has nowhere to go and can find no way around the Alfa Romeo at this point during the race. And Dom Walsh is just making it difficult for himself at the moment. He's always going to lose that position. Down the straight, DRS, it is going to be a lost position. And now they're both losing time to Petey, who's on 4-lap-old soft tires. So he's going to be struggling at the end of the race. And that is something that Dom Walsh knows too. Grimo just made the overtake on Lily Willin. And the problem is with Grimo, he crashed out quite early. I mean, quite early at the middle of this race. But he has caught up again. He will be frustrated because he had the pace. He just couldn't crash. He just shouldn't have crashed. And that is something he did do. Liquid Gas now with the fastest lap, 131. Oh, Monster catching up to the top 4. And will he be able to? That is my question, because Dom Walsh being on those medium tires, he'll have it difficult keeping up with the top 3. They have so much pace on those soft tires. But he will be faster at the end of the race, I think. I'm not 100% sure, though. He's done a good job going onto those medium tires to finish off the race. But the other guys going onto the soft tires, I think they're just a little bit too strong. Chef on the rear of his teammate. And look at that, Vexman. 24 seconds behind Chef. Let's go back to P3. Liquid Gas on the tail of Petey. And Thomas running away. Liquid Gas cannot stay in this position because he would lose the lead of the Drivers' Championship. That would go to Thomas W. in the AlphaTauri, but still 3 more laps to be driven. We're heading into lap 23 out of the 25 here around Saudi Arabia. We had some good racing already. We had some clean racing already. Not too many moves, but that doesn't matter here around Saudi Arabia. Just need to make the overtake down the straight with the use of DRS, and that is something that Liquid Gas will be doing. Draining a lot of DRS already through this part of the track, trying to catch up to Thomas, but it is not easy as it is not as easy as it sounds. He's got Petey in front of him. Both drivers, they had a collision during the qualifying. I mean, not a collision, but they had a little bit of an incident during the qualifying. Petey was on a fast lap. Liquid Gas on the tail of Petey. And I'm pretty sure both drivers, they got affected by it. You know, Petey feeling someone on his shoulders, breathing. You know, if you're standing in a line at an attraction, for example, at a roller coaster, and someone is behind you, and he's like, it is not great. You know, he's breathing in your neck. It is not great. It is going to give you nerves, and that is, I think, the same feeling Petey had. But of course, Liquid Gas, he was too close to Petey, so he got kind of impeded. It is something that affects the drivers as they're on a qualifying lap. Liquid Gas now trying to catch up to Thomas. Thomas has so much pace at the moment. He's trying to stay out of that 1 second from Liquid Gas, because as soon as Liquid Gas has that 1 second, Thomas will most likely lose that position. DRS is just so strong here around Saudi Arabia, and possibly one of the only options for the drivers to make an overtake on. So they really need to abuse that 1 second, that DRS opportunity. Thomas, who's now running away, coming into Sector 3, 1.2 seconds already. So Liquid Gas will only have one opportunity in lap 25, I think, because it won't happen in lap 24. As you can see, he doesn't have the DRS yet. And Monster caught up to Dom Walsh. Look at that. Around the outside he goes. Grimo trying to make the overtake. He has the inside line. Here comes Grimo. Down the inside line. Goes a little bit too deep, but I think he keeps the position on the soft tires. Both drivers going side by side. Monster trying to keep the position into P6. He wants to get that P5. P5 gives you 10 points if I'm not mistaken, but Grimo having the fastest lap of the race already at 130.7, making a deep dive bomb down the inside of Dom Walsh. Dom Walsh is just trying his best on these 8-lap-old mediums. There's nothing else he can do. Just keep it consistent. Just keep it on track. And as you can see, Thomas running away right now. We've got a broken front wings for someone. I have no idea who that was. I think it is Grimo. I think it's Grimo. Look at how understeery his car is at the moment through this part of the track. It is Grimo with front wing damage. And there goes his race. He's possibly going to still grab P6. But this is not great. Monster around the outside, and that is very unlucky for Grimo. I think he would have been able to get P4 at least. Gets Smurf now with a 3-second time penalty. Mike Taylor will possibly lose a position again to the Alpine driver, because he's got a 3-second time penalty to work with. And as you can see, Liquid Gas, 1.5 seconds. I think he just wants to be equal with Thomas. Let's have a quick look who has the fastest lap, though. Oh, fastest lap goes to Grimo. Fair enough. Fair enough. But if Thomas catches the fastest lap, he will be able to lead the Drivers' Championship. This is 7 points of a difference right now. Thomas getting 25 points, Liquid Gas getting 18 points. That is 7 points of a difference. I think in the Drivers' Championship, it's also... No, it's 8 points. Oh, man, I really thought it was 7. I really thought it was 7. Hold up, let me double check. Because I can't... I'm not sure. Oh, it is 8 points. Boo. Boo. But the positive... Oh, wait, look at that. PD catching up to Liquid Gas. Oh, this is going to be spicy in the last lap. Also spicy very here. Very spicy very here. That doesn't make too much sense. Very spicy here in the midfield. As we've got Grimo trying to keep up with Monster. Monster, who doesn't have too much ERS left. And Monster might be looking at the P4. Dom Walsh on those medium tires is running away a little bit. I think those medium tires are getting a little bit faster than the soft tires at this point during the race. But also here in P8, I mean, we're going to see Lily Willy making the overtake. No, it doesn't make sense. Lily Willy making the overtake anyway because Mike Taylor has that penalty. Let's have a quick look. Monster coming into sector 3 in a couple of seconds. Is he going to be able to get that position from Dom Walsh? 6/10 behind the Alfa Romeo driver. He might be able to get that position with the use of DRS into sector 3. One more sector 2 nail for a Monster. DRS wide open already, and he's going to make the move around the outside, inside line. Look at that. Monster taking P4. He's cutting the corner there a little bit. It might be a track invalidation. Needs to watch out. DRS wide open for Dom Walsh this time around. And they have to watch out for Grimo that he doesn't run away with this P4. Look at that. Dom Walsh is going to play a little bit of a strategic game. Monster doesn't want to go into the brakes very heavily. And who will take P4? Thomas coming across the line to grab the race win here in Saudi Arabia. And who will catch the P4? Who will catch the P4? It is going to be Dom Walsh with only a couple of thousands, 28 thousandths in between Dom Walsh and Monster. Lily Willing getting a P7 due to a penalty for Mike Taylor. And that is going to be your race here in Saudi Arabia. So Get Smurfed and Vexman still have to come across the line. But I think that will be Vexman getting a P11 due to a penalty for Get Smurfed. They do need to watch out though. Get Smurfed closing in very, very fast there on the Mercedes driver. And that is going to be the race here in Saudi Arabia. Our top 3 will be Thomas, who took the race win, Liquid in P2. And then we have PD getting a driver of the day to be, getting a P3 driver of the day. Moundy, so close to P4. Yes, indeed, mate. You were absolutely amazing. Dom Walsh does get that P4. I'm just going to have a quick look with the rest of the grid. We've got Thomas taking the lead of the race, taking the race win. Liquid Gas in P2 and PD in P3. Further, we've got Dom Walsh, Monster, Grimo, Lily Willing, Mike Taylor, Hybrid Place, Chef, Vexman, and Get Smurfed. And then we've got our 2 DNFs being Rummy and Blood Diamond all the way at the back of the grid. Grimo gets the fastest lap here, as I just need to take a quick picture of this so I can talk about it on during the interviews. And that is going to be your race here in Saudi Arabia for the Axis Mainstream Racing Series. Make sure to give a like already if you like it as much as I did. But we're gonna have the interviews first, so I'm just gonna wait for the guys to come into the comms box if they actually decide to do so. I have no idea if they're actually joining the live stream. But, I'm waiting. We're all waiting. I should get my Be Right Back screen. Oh, yeah. I have my Be Right Back screen. I mean, we're gonna wait a little bit. Everyone is readying up still. Everyone is waiting. So we just need to. I mean, we're just gonna wait for the guys to join into the live stream. So we will be right back in a second. And they should be there pretty soon. Ah, there we go. We've got our first joiner. That is going to be Mr. Jack. 1 second, guys. Yo, Jack, how are you doing, mate? How are you doing?
I mean, we're gonna wait a little bit. Everyone is.
Okay, we can wait. We can wait.
That is going to.
P3 was for PD, so I'll just ping him real quick. All right, guys, welcome. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a driver interview here. We'll start off with our P3 being PD. PD, congratulations on the P3, mate. I mean, going all the way from P11 to P3, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely amazing. You've also received the driver of the day from the game themselves, and of course from me. Let's give a quick thought of your race. I mean, what was going through your mind the whole race? Did anything special happen? How was the race in your eyes?
Well, I'd been practicing with the soft medium strategy. I'm planning on an early safety car, which happened, and then I saw quite a few drivers go into the hards, which I didn't think was going to last till the end of the race. So I thought I had the pace on the mediums, and then I was already in the pit when the safety car came out for the second one. So I'd already had a fresh set of softs on, so that helped me as well. A bit of luck, but we'll take it.
And just those last couple of laps, what was going through your mind when you saw that Liquid was dropping all the way to P4? You were in P2, if I'm not mistaken. You gained a couple of positions during that safety car situation. Liquid Gas, obviously, being one of the faster guys here in the league.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind there?
Well, when I saw he left the session, I had a big smile on my face originally, but then he joined back. But no, I knew he would be right behind me, and he put the pressure on me through the S's, and I was a bit shaky and nearly took him out. So I'm glad he avoided me on that one. But I knew he would be quicker than me on fresh softs as well. So I tried not to fight it too hard.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely great race by you. You gained 8 positions, if I'm not mistaken, coming from P11. You had a little bit of a bad qualifying. What happened there? Because I saw you had a little bit of an incident. I mean, I'm not going to call it an incident, but we saw something happening between you and Liquid, where Liquid was really up your ass during the qualifying. So what happened there? What happened there? Just
Yeah.
bad timing by both drivers, or?
That was one of them where I knew, again, he was quicker than me, but I was on a hot lap, so I didn't want to pull out. But I think if I did mess up his hot lap, I do apologize. I just couldn't get a clean lap in qualifying. I think I pushed too hard. But the race, I was a lot more consistent. No track limits. I just rode the curve a few times, but no, I think it went well.
Okay, PD, I think that is all that we need from you today. I thank you very much for joining the comms box and, of course, giving an interview to us. Congratulations with the top 3. Absolutely amazing, getting driver of the day vote. You've done a great race, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And then we will be going over to P2, which was going to be Liquid Gas. I mean, I'm not going to say a surprising P2, but congratulations on the P2. I would have expected you would have had a P1, but Thomas said otherwise. So yeah, what was going through your mind during that whole race, Liquid?
To be fair, I don't know, after qualifying, I felt quite comfortable. As I said, I was happy with the P2. The 2 sets of soft tyres, hoping for just really nicely timed safety cars. Didn't really happen, but yeah, towards the end, I think a lot of time was lost trying to battle through Dom on the old mediums, and then Petey was trying to hold on the best that he could. He held me back for, I think, almost a lap. He done well. As soon as I broke past him, I just didn't have any more battery to try and close the gap to Tom, and I think it's fairly comfortable for the last few laps there for him.
Yeah, I mean, still a great race. During that safety car, that last safety car, lap 18, if I'm not mistaken, were you, because you just gone onto fresh mediums, if I'm not mistaken, or hard tires, either of two. What were you doubting about coming into the pits to go onto the soft tires, or were you really like, safety car, I need to come into the pits, I'll be faster? Because I think you would have been able to grab P1 if you didn't come into the pits and just keep track position. Was that something that you considered during the race, or not really?
Yeah, it was something that came up in my mind. I knew they were fresh hards, I think maybe 3 laps old, so they easily could have done the rest. But I just knew the power of the softs, with once we'd gone racing, I knew there'd only be 4 or 5 laps left. So they would never have won. So I wouldn't have got the advantage of the hard tyre. So I knew I had to pit and then try and just go on pure pace after that.
Fair enough. So, I mean, obviously, your race last week wasn't great. Miami, you crashed out. Today, you scored another good amount of points, but we see that after last week's race, Thomas came 8 points short to equal your points in the Drivers' Championship. Today, he only comes 1 point short going into next race. Do you think he's going to be a real threat going into the rest of the season? We still have 5 more races to go. Belgium, Abu Dhabi, Sao Paulo, Qatar, and Imola. Would you say those tracks are into your favor, or do you think he's going to really give you a big challenge throughout the rest of the season?
I'm always aware of Tom and his pace, no matter the track. Me and him always seem to be side by side at some point during the races. Whoever comes out on top, that's just down to who can manage their tyres, manage the pace. I don't know, I say it's a combination of both. I mean, there's a couple of tracks in there I'm really looking forward to, including Spa, obviously a classic track. We all love Spa. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that next week. And then it's just week by week now. With the points being so close, you can never look too far into the future when it comes to racing, especially, like I say, against Tom. We're always side by side somewhere.
Well, I mean, all I can say is great race. You I'm not going to say you climbed up the ladder very well, because you were always in that top 5, but still a good battle with Dom Walsh, with PD during those last couple of laps. It wasn't enough to grab the race win, but still a great job, Jack. I really appreciate the amount of effort you put into a lap, the amount of effort you put into a race, and the clean racing you always bring on track. So thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
And then we will be going over to P1. Our P1, congratulations on the race win. That was, of course, going to be Tom Walsh, only 1 point away from Jack. What happened during the race, Tom? What happened during the race?
Thank you very much. And closing the gap to Jack is pretty much important because he is just phenomenal. Hats off to him. Every single race, he's always 6/10 in qualifying, normally quicker than me. So I always have to bring it back in the race. But the race was sort of like two parts for me. At the beginning, I was behind Jack. Grimo was behind me. I decided to let Grimo go, stay in the slipstream and do a bit like Miami, where I just sort of save my battery, just save my tyres. I was thinking about stopping to try and undercut them both. Decided not to. Saw Jack pitted. Fell about 22 seconds behind, but he closed the gap to 15. At that point, I thought, well, I need to stay out and keep going. I'm going to take a set of softs at the end, and hopefully, I'd have been about 7 seconds behind him at the end of the stops, and I would have tried to catch up to him. Sort of looked in with the safety car at the end. Again, Jeddah, you've got to pull a gap as quick as you can, because as soon as you get in that DRS train, if the guy behind can just save his battery and then just drop it all in the last two laps, last lap to then try and force an overtake on you. But an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, a very interesting one. You had a lot of points last week on Jack, which probably gave you a lot of confidence going into this race today, Jeddah. I mean, you were able to keep Jack behind you for quite some time during those last couple of laps. I thought it was going to be very close between having the DRS or not having the DRS, but I mean, you were able to gain even time during those last two laps. I think you went from 1 second to 1.5, 1.6 seconds at some point. So this kind of confidence, is that gonna continue during the next 5 rounds? Let's say, Belgium, like Jack mentions, a very good racing track. Abu Dhabi also a very good one. Actually, we only have good racing tracks for the rest of the season. Are you looking forward to some close racing with Jack, or would you rather be far ahead, winning this championship by quite a bit?
I'd like to be in front of him, but I know that's going to be difficult. Jack's, like I said before, he's phenomenally quick. I've got a couple of tracks I'm not particularly great at coming up. Tonight was one of my favourite tracks. I do like Jeddah. So hopefully, if I can just stay within him, stay behind him, I hopefully might try and off the old switcheroo in the strategy and get in front of him. But he's always super quick. Hopefully, I'll close the gap on him again.
Yeah, and of course, this is a realistic performance league. How do you feel being in the AlphaTauri car compared to your, main rival being in the Haas car? Do you feel like the Haas is faster, or do you feel that the AlphaTauri is faster, and that means that you're faster too on track? Or do you say they're both equal, or what's your thoughts on that?
I think they're both very different. So over a one lap and the fresh tyres, I think the Haas is slightly quicker, but I think the Haas does wear its tyres out quicker. I noticed tonight, especially in a couple of the high-speed left-rights in the middle of the track, middle of the lap, Jack would drop a couple of attempts during them corners, so I think his tyres were just starting to go again. Don't get me wrong, the AlphaTauri isn't great on tyres, but I think it's a little bit better than the Haas. But like I say, one lap pace, the Haas, I think's got the edge.
Yeah, there's also, always ups and downs with choosing realistic performance. Guys like the Red Bulls, who should be the fastest on track, it's not really showing that here in Access Mainstream Racing Series. To me, it looks like the faster guys in the slowest cars are all the way up the standings, and the guys in the fastest cars are all the way down. Do you feel like there could be another system, or do you think this is the right way to go? Because obviously you're the owner, you're the admin of this league. Do you think this is the right way to go, or?
It's something we've mentioned for quite a while, about trying it to try and bring the gap. You saw the likes of Grimo running up front with me and Jack before he had his slight moment. He would have in previous seasons, and this is no disrespect to Grimo, that gap would have edged out over the course of the first stint. Blood Diamond again, his pace is right on point. We found that realistic, there would have always been quite a large not large, but an ominous gap that would have appeared. So we just figured trial it this season, and I think it does pay off. You look at the lap times, like in qualifying, for example, it was quite a close group, all within 2/10, which around this track it's a difficult track to put together a full lap. So I personally think it works, and hopefully we have instituted other rules in other seasons, and we will always look back at different rules. So we actually the qualifying tyre rule where top 4 of the league start on the compound that they would qualify on. So there was not that free choice, and that might be another rule we look at to bring it back, to try and keep the gaps close, try and keep everybody involved with racing.
Okay, mate. I mean, lovely explanations, lovely things. I think the guys will be able to have a clear future going into the rest of the season and going into season 8, of course, because we're currently in season 7. I would like to, say congratulations for the race win. You've done a great job pulling away from Jack during those last couple of laps. Great strategy during the race and just good racing overall. I wish the both of you, because I think BD left already, wish the both of you good luck during Spa next week and during the rest of the season. And we might possibly see each other next week again. I'll see you guys next week or the week after or the week after. And good luck practicing, guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, I think we will be finishing off the live stream here. I hope everyone has enjoyed everything. Make sure to give the live stream a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure to follow Access Mainstream Racing Series if you haven't already, in the Discord, of course, because you'll be able to drive in that league too if you want to. So, guys, thank you very much. And I'll see you guys next time around. Peace out.